Coming up tonight on News Watch, authorities say one person is dead after a fiery crash in Champaign County this afternoon. We'll have the latest coming up.
Plus, state leaders are touting a new tool to bring development and jobs to Illinois. We'll explain how it works. Ben?
A pleasant day today across the central Illinois. Temperatures up into the 40s for a lot of us. A beautiful sunset taking place on our tower cam overlooking Charleston. Will be around the average for most of this week, but tomorrow could be one of our warmest days that we've had in quite some time. This is News Watch. Your Monday evening edition is coming up next.
The Charleston House proudly supports Newswatch. Now welcoming guests on Charleston's historic 6th Street. The Charleston House Bed and Breakfast Inn offers refined accommodations in a beautifully restored bed and breakfast. For booking information, visit craigcollection.com or call the number on screen.
TCI Realty, Charleston area's real estate connection. Commercial, land and farm, and residential real estate. Experienced realtors with an up-to-date website at tcirealty.net. TCI Realty supports the students of WEIU Newswatch.
Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon. Whatever the occasion, it's an environment for an evening of dining, conversation, and cocktails. Whatever your needs, our staff is ready. Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon, located at the Cross County Mall, Mattoon.
Authorities are investigating the cause of a fatal crash in Champaign County. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Olivia Bennett.
And I'm Andrew Spade. Champaign County Sheriff's Lieutenant Curtis Apperson says deputies responded to a single vehicle crash on 2500 East County Road near Homer around noon. Apperson says the vehicle crashed into a tree and caught fire. He says a passerby pulled the driver out of the car and tried to help until emergency services arrived and pronounced the driver dead. Authorities haven't released the identity of the driver. After a months-long search, the Champaign School Board is set to approve a new superintendent. Earlier today, the board announced a new superintendent to be Giovanni Ponce. Ponce has worked in public education for more than 2 decades. Most recently, Ponce has served as chief of schools in Fairfax County, Virginia, where the Champaign School Board says he served more than 180,000 students. Champaign Unit 4 School District Board President Tony Bruno said Ponce's talents and personality reflects what the community has demanded for their new superintendent. The school's board will vote on Ponce's appointment at their meeting tonight.
Illinois lawmakers have approved a new tool aimed at attracting major developments in the state. The new law allows local governments to issue star bonds to help finance projects that develop at least 300 jobs, have a $30 million developer investment, and serve public interest. The goal is to develop and revitalize communities through major tourism, entertainment, and retail. Governor J.B. Pritzker hopes the new law will bring big investments and big jobs with it.
The Star Bonds program is a reflection of our transformation in making Illinois truly an attractive place for new private investment and new businesses. We're providing new and responsible vehicles to finance projects and to create growth. We're working together across regions, across industries, across levels of government, across the aisle, to deliver on behalf of our communities.
The legislation includes big municipalities like Chicago. Excludes big municipalities like Chicago. Local governments have until June 1st to notify the state if they plan to create a star bond district, with final project approvals due at the end of the year.
Good evening. A lot of that snow that we've been getting familiar with over the past week or so in East Central Illinois finally starting to melt, as you can see on our WeatherBug camera here overlooking Eastern Illinois University's campus. Some of that grass finally starting to poke through out of that snow. High temperatures up into the 40s today across some of the area. 44 was our warmest spot in Taylorville, 40 for us here in Charleston. We did stay in the 30s though for a few communities including Champaign, Danville, and in Paris. Currently, though, we're seeing these temperatures starting to drop off a little bit as we get to the night hours this evening. 38 still in Charleston under clearer skies. That's a little bit different from what we saw earlier today. And overnight tonight, we'll see these temperatures staying right around the freezing point. Clouds will be coming in and out, but winds will start to pick up and be a factor during the day tomorrow. And I'll have the full Skywatch forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Two people are behind bars after a public transit van was shot in Decatur. Police say it happened late Friday night when Decatur Move's vehicle was struck by gunfire after dropping off two passengers. Decatur Public Transit says although the vehicle was damaged, no injuries were reported. After investigating, police say the both suspects were identified and arrested. We reached out to the Decatur Police Department for additional details, but we're still waiting on a callback. A Terre Haute man is in custody after a stabbing that injured multiple people. According to our partner station, WTHI, police say it happened at the Lotus Center on Elm Street just before 8 last night. Online court records show police arrested 27-year-old Martez Sanders on aggravated battery and intimidation charges. They also say Sanders was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. He's being held in jail on a $50,000 bond, with his next court date set for Thursday morning. Newswatch also reached out to the Terre Haute Police Department for more information, and we're waiting to hear back. One person and another family are displaced after separate fires in Decatur yesterday evening. Decatur firefighters say they were first called to a home on East Grand Avenue just before 5 and found heavy smoke and fire coming from the front and side windows of the home. They say one person was inside at the time and got out safely. While crews were still at the home, they were called to a second fire on West Decatur Street just after 6. They say that fire was in the attic of the home and the family inside also got out safely. Authorities say the Red Cross is helping those displaced by the fire, and they say they're still investigating the causes.
A local career center is getting a jump start from Ameren, Illinois. Lift Central Illinois in Mattoon recently received a nearly $50,000 grant to expand its HVAC, green energy, and robotics program. The center's leaders say the grant is from Ameren's Market Development Initiative, and it will support Lift's EV technology course. It includes 5 electric cart kits along with associated tooling, spare parts, assembly stands, and data collection equipment. Program facilitator Dan Compton says the donation will significantly enhance the students' experience and bring new energy to the program.
If you've ever thought of becoming a weather spotter, a training experience is coming to your forecast. Each spring, the National Weather Service hosts in-person and virtual spotter talks across the state. Now that list includes 2 local sessions. The first is at the Robinson Firehouse in Robinson on February 28th at 6:30 in the evening. Another is here at Eastern Illinois University's Buzzard Hall on March 2nd, also at 6:30. The in-person training goes over how to plan for severe weather, storm structure and movement, and identifying important storm features. All sessions last around 2 hours and are free to the public. Those storm spotter sessions are very valuable if you want to learn a little bit more about the severe weather that we experienced during the spring season. High temperatures today, though, up into the 40s finally. That's right around our average for this time of year. We've been well below that average the past few weeks across East Central Illinois. 40 degrees for our high in Charleston. 44 was our warmest in Taylorville at a high of 44. And we're still holding on to those semi-warm temperatures at this hour. 38 degrees in Charleston, still in the 40s off to the west in Taylorville. Now we're starting to see a little bit of a warm-up coming in for a lot of the Great Plains, and that's due to this warm front that's been moving across, and that's actually going to be making its way over East Central Illinois once we get towards tomorrow morning. You'll see that in our high temperatures for tomorrow. Oh, before we get there, though, overnight tonight, 32 degrees for our overnight low, so perfectly right at the freezing point. We will see that cloud cover moving in and out throughout the overnight hours, but the winds will start to pick up today, around 10 to 15 miles an hour consistently, but they could be as strong as 20 miles an hour tomorrow. And looking at our day part forecast for tomorrow, you can see these temperatures very warm for what we usually see. 54 degrees for our high in Charleston. We'll see cloud cover a little bit variable throughout the day tomorrow, but again, these winds are going to be stronger, close to 35 mile an hour wind gusts at times tomorrow, and this will be our warmest spot of the week. We'll begin to cool off as we move towards the back half of our work week. And these wind gusts, you can see right now, only really around 5 to 10 miles an hour coming out of the south. But again, that's going to start to change as we get overnight. Right after sunrise at 7 a.m. here, you can see these wind gusts coming in from the southwest around 30 to 35 miles an hour for a lot of us. Now, we did have a cold front that was paired with that warm front. You can see that shift in winds here moving from the southwest into the northwest as this cold front passes through. Winds will be a little bit weaker into the afternoon, but still coming in around 15 to 20 miles an hour out of the northwest. And that's going to be bringing in some cooler air as we move past the Tuesday. And as you can see as we look at our futurecast here, you can see these mostly cloudy skies moving in and out throughout the overnight periods. Once we get to sunrise tomorrow, though, some of our communities will see a little bit heavier cloud cover, particularly to the southeast, but many along the I-72 corridor will see a little bit sunnier of a day tomorrow. As we move forward, though, we will see those clouds start to move their way out as we near sunset tomorrow. As we move forward, we will be seeing sunny conditions for a few days throughout the next week or so, including on Wednesday, sunny and mild temperatures staying right around our average of 40 degrees. Thursday, partly cloudy skies, 39 degrees for the high, and to end our work week, still staying around that 40-degree mark, 41 degrees on Friday. We will start to warm up as we move past the weekend, though. And that would be what you would see on our jet stream here. We would be having a ridge of warmer air taking place and moving in from the east. Unfortunately, our system is apparently having some malfunctions, but that will be causing above average temperatures to stay past this week. Again, those averages are right around the 40-degree mark, and you can see, especially towards the start of next work week, temperatures back near the mid-50s. But before that, though, 54 degrees for our high tomorrow, and then a little bit cooler throughout the rest of the work week. We do have a chance for some wintry mix Thursday night and into Friday morning, though, that we'll continue to track that and update you here on Newswatch. 39 degrees for our high on Thursday, but still in the 40s throughout a lot of the work week, but a couple warmer days out there, which I know you've been waiting to see that, Olivia. I know you're definitely thankful for this break from the cold.
I am. You know how much I love the warm weather.
Might have to break out the shorts tomorrow.
I mean, maybe. Well, thanks, Ben. Still to come, new data sheds light on how Americans feel about, and this is an interesting one, their personal finances.
Plus, measles outbreaks around the U.S. are prompting a plea from one federal health official. Thanks for watching. This is Newswatch on WEIU.
We've all seen those Boston Dynamics videos showing their robots running and dancing, but with this latest one, I feel like now they're just showing off. The company shared a clip of their Atlas robot pulling off a cartwheel and backflip combo that would make an Olympic judge do a double take. It was part of the final technical tests for the company's research model ahead of the rollout of the product version of the humanoid robot, fleets of which are planned for deployment at Hyundai and Google DeepMind. Boston Dynamics says the Atlas will be trained using new AI foundation models for a wide variety of industrial tasks. It wasn't all flawless fancy footwork, though. They also included a hilarious blooper reel showing the many misfires and not-so-smooth moves that happen behind the scenes on the road to robotic refinement. Speaking of bots that don't always stick the landing, an Amazon delivery drone had a rough aerial approach when it reportedly crashed near a Richardson, Texas apartment building, raining down debris before plummeting to the ground. The cause of the crash is unclear, but no injuries were reported, and Amazon said the building, quote, sustained minimal damage and it's arranging repairs. It also apologized for any inconvenience. To be fair, good old-fashioned deliveries have their problems too, like pilfering porch pirates, or in the case of this video from Oklahoma, pooch porch pirates. In the video shared by the Oklahoma City PD, a pair of sticky-pawed pups are seen sniffing, then snatching a homeowner's package from their doorstep. But according to the department, what the pair was likely hoping were kibbles and bits turned out instead to be drill bits, seen here abandoned amongst the package's tattered remains. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Rod.
Federal health officials are urging more people to get vaccinated against measles amid outbreaks in several states. Last month, officials said in South Carolina they had confirmed more than 600 cases in just a month. That put the state on track to surpass the number of measles cases in an outbreak in Texas last year. This Sunday, Dr. Mehmet Oz, who leads the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, encouraged more vaccination against measles.
Take the vaccine, please. We have a solution for a problem. Not all illnesses are equally dangerous, and not all people are equally susceptible to those illnesses. But measles is one you should get your vaccine.
Over the weekend, Oz said Medicare and Medicaid will continue paying for those measles vaccines. The Pan American Health Organization has invited the U.S. and Mexico to meet in April to discuss both countries' measles elimination status.
New data suggests more Americans are feeling uneasy about their personal finances. That data comes from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. It found the share of Americans who say they're worse off now financially than they were a year ago hit its highest level in more than 2 years. The report also found more pessimism about the year ahead, with more Americans reporting they expect their financial situations to get worse. Still, The survey shows some improvement in views of the labor market, prospects, and the ability to pay down debt. Now we check in with Matthew Posner after a busy sports weekend.
Busy doesn't even begin to describe the insane sports weekend we just had, Andrew. EIU, U of I, and Charleston basketball were in action. We'll have the recap on all 3 contests coming up. But first, the NFL season comes to a super end in San Francisco. We'll crown our 60th Super Bowl champion right after this. Thanks for watching. Your WEIU Sports Watch report is coming up next.
Your local source for health news, information, and advice is Being Well on WEIU. Featuring your local medical providers from trusted centers of health. Join us Tuesday evenings at 7 on WEIU for Being Well.
$284 NFL games have led us to this, Super Bowl 60. And 2 teams that missed the playoffs last season meet for a chance to hoist the Lombardi Trophy, the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots, who will come out on top. Former U of I cornerback Devin Witherspoon helps put the pressure on early as he gets to Drake May for a big-time sack. Star of the NFL playoffs has been none other than Kenneth Walker III, who flashes his phenomenal speed on this 30-yard run, leading to another Seattle field goal. Jason Myers adds another 3 points right before half, and the Seahawks lead 9-0. Now down 12, the Patriots desperately need a big play, but they get the exact opposite as May loses the football, and it's picked up by Seattle. Sam Darnold has been silencing the doubters all season long, and he drops the anvil on New England's Super Bowl hopes with his dot to A.J. Barner for the first touchdown of the game. May does find Matt Collins for a big score moments later, but the Patriots' flame gets put out on this strip sack, and Uchenna Nwosu brings it all the way back for 6, and the Seattle Seahawks are your Super Bowl champions. Seattle wins Super Bowl 60 29-13, and Darnold played a big part in getting the Seahawks back in the winner's circle.
Some people called me crazy throughout my career for believing in myself so much and having so much confidence, but it was because of my parents, because of the way that they believed in me throughout my entire career, and it allowed me to go out there and play free and have a ton of confidence.
Congratulations. Though Darnold played well once again, it's Walker who took home Super Bowl MVP after totaling 161 yards from scrimmage. It was another dominant performance for K9, who becomes an unrestricted free agent this March. The Seahawks let Geno Smith walk this past offseason and took a chance on Sam Darnold after the Vikings inexplicably let him walk, and their risk paid off in the biggest way possible. Minutes before the Super Bowl wrapped up, we had a wild finish at the WM Phoenix Open. 2021 Masters champion Hideki Matsuyama held a one-shot lead with a hole to play over 3-time PGA Tour winner Chris Gotterup. Can Hideki hold on? After driving it into trouble on 18, Matsuyama needs to drain this putt to win, or we're going into a playoff. And it's not even close. And as the Super Bowl national anthem starts playing, we're headed back to the tee for a sudden death showdown. It goes from bad to worse for Hideki in the playoff as he hits his tee shot in the water. His third shot is decent, giving him a slim chance for par. But Gotterup wasn't about to give Matsuyama the chance to be a hero. I mean, how can you not be romantic about golf? Gotterup's red-hot run on the PGA Tour continues as he wins his second tournament of the year. We're only 4 tournaments in. Up next, the PGA heads to Pebble Beach this week for the first signature event of 2026, and nearly all the world's best players are in the field. In college hoops, it's another huge showdown for the 5th-ranked Illini as they take on 10th-ranked Michigan State in a game that features 12 ties and 16 lead changes. Who will come out on top? In the second half, David Mirkovic slings the ball out to Jake Davis, and he cashes it plus the foul. And U of I now leads by 5. but Jordan Scott has a chance to give Michigan State the lead. And just as they did in 480 BC, the Spartans go into battle. Illinois takes the lead back, but with time winding down, Kurtang has the rock up top and sends Breslin Center into a frenzy as he buries the triple. But Illinois answers right back, getting the foul and sending it to overtime. In OT, however, Michigan State pulls away. Keaton Waller gives the Illini a bit of hope, but it just isn't enough as the Spartans win this one 85-82, handing Illinois their first loss since mid-December. The loss drops the Illini to number 8 in the AP Top 25, but will have an immediate chance of redemption tomorrow night at home against Wisconsin. EIU basketball travels to Tennessee Tech to face the Golden Eagles. These two programs have become fierce rivals in recent years, but this is their final conference showdown as Tennessee Tech announced last fall that they were leaving the OVC. The Eastern women's team was coming off a win against Tennessee State, but blew a 16-point lead to the Golden Eagles. The Panthers fall short in overtime 75-70. EIU is now 4-21 on the season with a 3-11 mark in conference play. As for the Eastern's men's team, they get a big road win, taking down Tennessee Tech 60-54. The Panthers now move to 6-8 in conference play and are comfortably inside the top 8 as the OVC tourney approaches. Both programs head to Macomb tomorrow night to face Western Illinois. Charleston and Mattoon's boys basketball teams were also in action this past weekend. Could either team pick up a victory? The Trojans can't keep up with Deer Creek Mackinac as the Chiefs take down the Trojans 70-40. DMAC star center Jerry Hahn had another monster game, recording a 33-point double-double in the win. Mattoon tries to bounce back from a rocky first half, but Mount Vernon's offense is just too much to handle, and the Rams win 67-52. The loss drops the Green Wave to 14-13, but they remain in second place in the Apollo Conference behind undefeated Mahomet Seymour. We head now to the Diamond for the first time this year. Eastern Illinois softball season has officially begun. The Panthers have already picked up a pair of wins. Eastern started its season on Friday with a loss against Western Kentucky and a loss against Georgia Southern. But EIU flipped that around on Saturday, beating Georgia Southern 10-4 and beating UNC Greensboro 3-2. The Panthers finished off the weekend with a loss against Western Kentucky, but Eastern opens up the campaign with a 2-3 record. Up next, the Panthers will travel to Louisiana for the Mardi Gras Mambo. The 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan Cortina have been underway for a few days now. The United States has already picked up a couple gold medals. Breezy Johnson brought home the first gold medal of the Games for the USA, winning the women's downhill alpine skiing event. The U.S. figure skating team won over France and Italy, giving America 2 gold medals so far. Ilya Malinin highlighted that team, scoring over 200 points, meaning the 10 points needed to take the U.S. into first place. Norway and Sweden currently hold the most gold medals with 3 apiece. Finally, it was an unfortunate end to a phenomenal career for Lindsey Vonn, who tried to compete despite rupturing her ACL just over a week ago. Vonn crashed in her opening race and had to be airlifted off the course. Finally tonight, former Lakeland men's basketball head coach Wayne Lockett has died. Lockett spent over 35 years teaching and coaching in East Central Illinois and served as Lakers head coach from 1982 to 1989. Wayne Lockett was 79 years old. That concludes tonight's Sports Watch Report. Andrew, Olivia, over to you.
Thanks, Matthew. In a moment, Ben Whitney will return to talk about a continued break from below average temperatures for the next week.
But first, this Chicago alley may just be picture perfect. Thanks for watching. This is News Watch on WEIU. Finally tonight, it's being called the most Instagrammable alley in Chicago. Check this out. Each garage door in this neighborhood on the city's near west side is painted with its own mural. Some feature local sports, others highlight Chicago history. The neighborhood's developer hatched the plan while the homes and garages were being built. Some homeowners had the chance to pick their own designs. Neighbors say it's helped bring people together, and they suspect having art on the doors has kept graffiti away. Well, these milder temperatures may put you in the mood for a walk around your neighborhood. Ben Whitney is back with the final check of the Skywatch forecast.
Well, temperatures tomorrow may be perfect for you to get out and enjoy that walk around the neighborhood. For tonight, though, 32 degrees for our overnight low. We'll see clouds moving in and out with windy conditions continuing into tomorrow morning. 54 degrees for our high in Charleston tomorrow. These winds will pick up from the southwest but eventually shift to the northwest as we see a cold front come through. And as we look at our 7-day forecast, temperatures staying right around the 40-degree mark, which is average for this time of year, but eventually warming up to the start of next work week. 51 on Sunday and 53 on Monday. So overall, looks like we're finally going to get a break from all of that cold.
I am so excited. You guys know how excited I am.
We said it earlier. We're looking forward to this weather. It's cold. Maybe it's gone for good.
You saw the shorts weather line earlier. It is shorts weather out there.
It's always shorts weather for you. Well, thanks, Ben. That's all the time we have tonight for Newswatch.
For more news and weather, be sure to log onto our website at WEIU.net.
And if news is happening in your community, let us know by dropping us an email at news@weiu.net.
Join us tomorrow night at 5:30 for another edition of Newswatch. Good night, everybody.
The Charleston House proudly supports Newswatch. Now welcoming guests on Charleston's historic 6th Street. The Charleston House Bed and Breakfast Inn offers refined accommodations in a beautifully restored bed and breakfast. For booking information, visit craigcollection.com or call the number on screen.
TCI Realty, Charleston area's real estate connection. Commercial, land and farm, and residential real estate. Experienced realtors with an up-to-date website at tcirealty.net. TCI Realty supports the students of WEIU Newswatch.
Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon. Whatever the occasion, it's an environment for an evening of dining, conversation, and cocktails. Whatever your needs, our staff is ready. Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon, located at the Cross County Mall, Mattoon.